All right, so now we've got our segment wall here. This isn't the final version, but we did some blocking in and stuff, and we're going to go over that a little bit more detail in a few minutes. But for now, let's just clean up this wall, get it ready for the final position, and go from there. So first we're going to take this and isolate this selection. So we just have this wall. We know that it's zeroed out right in the middle of everything. We don't, we'll just call this stand-in. I actually have a finished one. So anyway, it doesn't really matter. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to look at it real quick, and I'm going to see that like this subdivision right here in the middle, I don't need this, right? So I'm going to control and backspace to get rid of it. And if you want, you can get rid of this window for now. That camera will stay where it is. And then I'm going to look at it and say, okay, I need to get rid of any n-gons and stuff like that. So how's best to do that? And probably I can get rid of some of these edges too. So I'm going to go to edge mode and then just grab, I don't know, let's turn off the grid. Every other one real quick, just like we've done before. Odd number, of course. So, and then Control or Alt R to select the whole ring, like that. Then we're going to collapse. My brain's here somewhere. Okay. So it's got an extra edge down here, and you can decide if you want to get rid of that one or if you just want to keep it, and I'll just get rid of it. So I just collapsed it a little bit more. It's not perfect, but this is just the side wall. And you can leave some of these cuts in here if you want. The reason I'm doing it is not necessarily because I'm worried about too many polys in the level. It's more that I'm worried about the time it's going to take to cut it all up. Now, if I do it in another way, I can do that. So I just cut out those ones too. If I do it with, let's say, by capping this, by drawing the polygons, that's fine. But since I did it this way, and I just extruded those edges, I've got to find all the vertices homes here. So what I'll usually do is I'll take this off. Since I know it's close, but it's not perfect, we'll deal with that. And I'll take it off, and I'm going to move it over here for now. And then I'm going to come over to my edge mode. I'm going to say, take this edge and go Alt-R, and it shouldn't go past the other side because of the n-gon, this big fat n-gon right here. And if you want to know what I mean by n-gon here, there's a quick way to check how the n-gons or where the triangles are in this object. You don't have to go to properties. You can just come over to, let's see, where is it? Turn or edit triangulation, just turn, and you can see there's all your edges, and we can turn these by hand and stuff, but the problem is we don't want all this information just randomly scattered. So we're going to do one side a piece and go from there. So I'm going to do like, we'll do 6 and see if that's enough. So we'll just do a connect, we'll add 6 in there, and we can see there's 4, 5, and 6 just for now, and we can move these wherever we need them to be. So now I'm going to go back to my vert mode and take a look at it and say, these probably aren't in the right position, so I'm going to go back to the left again. I keep moving it. I know this is aligned. If I grab that one, I know I'm going to grab the other side. I don't really care, but I kind of do, and you'll see why in a minute. Let's just go to left and take this, and we're going to move it up to here. And we're going to take this one, and we're going to move it to here. And then what I would do is I'd grab this vert, and I'd say connect. And then I'd grab this vert, and this vert, and say connect. I don't mind the try right there. I'm going to take this one, and I'm going to move it up to here somewhere. I'm going to take this one, and Control C, or for me it's Control C, but it's connect. For this one, I'm probably just going to do another quad right there, so I'll do another connect, and then I want to do grab both of them and do just this one. And it doesn't matter if you grab the other one actually, because you can't connect all the way to the back over there. Okay, so we've got 4, 4, 4, 4, we got a 3, we got a 4 and a 4, so we got pretty good 4 so far. Take this one. Oops, I missed. Take this one and go up to here. Don't want to try and move it, but we're going to straighten all that out anyway. Take this one and say connect. Actually, I think I could just do both to connect, and let's see if the other side connected too. Yep. So I made my life a lot harder by trying to show you this way. So the other way is just grab both this side and say connect, because it's going to do both sides for you. This side and this side and this side, and say connect. And you just can't click on them. You have to drag a box around them. That's a problem. not a huge problem, but to get rid of it, let me undo that. We're gonna have to do one at a time. So we'll do this one and say connect, and this one and this one and say connect. It's not doing anything to this side, but the other side it's now making the connect for me. And this side and say connect, and this side and say connect, and this side and this and say connect. Okay, so back down to the last couple here. I'm gonna go ahead and move this one up here like that. I'm gonna grab, and I'm gonna say connect, and then I'm gonna grab this one and say connect. And then I'm gonna say this one and this one will be a connect. And we'll do this one to this one as a connect maybe. Now, you know what, I'm gonna give them another edge here. So I'm just take this, go to that edge and go connect. But I have to make sure I go to the options one, because if I don't, it's gonna add 6. So I just want one like that. Go back to vert mode, and then I will say these two and connect, and this one connect. And I might as well just do these two as well, connect. Okay, so now I've got it all cut up, so there's no n-gons, there's just quads and tris, both sides are done.
And I'm going to speed this one up, so you can just, if you need to watch it slower, you can watch me do it slower, but you don't need to listen to me babble and do this for that long. So, fast version.
This is why I have shortcuts. Okay, so now they're all set up. Now all we have to do is make sure they're the right position on the wall. That's the next big thing that we're going to do. So again, it just takes a few minutes to do this. We're going to take this one, and what I'm going to do is, first I want to make sure this back wall right here is all flat, just because when I put it up next to it, if it's not, then it's going to cause problems. So I'm going to turn on my by angle, and it goes by 45 degrees, and I'm also going to turn on my ignore back facing, because once I fix this, I don't have to worry about it being clicked. So with that on, if I click on that face right there, you'll see that I grab nothing but that one. We've talked about this before, but just go ahead over it again. And if we go to the Y direction, it flattens it. It may not look like it does anything, and it may not do anything, but this way we're doubly sure. And then we flatten it again. And while we're at it, we're going to flatten this one too, because we want to make sure they're all flat together. And then we'll do this one. And then we'll do this one, which is the X direction, and this one, the X direction, and this one in the Z direction, and this one in the Z direction. Okay, so now we'll come back to this. And we're gonna grab this object, and we're gonna say snap. Now snap's up here, remember, and if you didn't turn it on before, your vertex snaps right here. I have mine on midpoint too, I'll turn that off, but I'll just say vertex snap is the big thing. Because now when I roll over it, see how it turns on when I have a vertex? Now what I like to do, if I put spacebar down or I put the lock on, and then I grab it, it will snap. And if I move it around, you see it goes, oh, it's trying to snap somewhere. It doesn't have it, but there it does. And finally, it snaps to the right spot. And then I'm going to take this one, turn off my my lock, and if the spacebar, I don't think it's a spacebar anymore, but and then I'll take this and put the spacebar or lock it back down, and then grab it to there. Okay, so we know that they're snapped together. We don't know if they're lining up or anything, but we'll check and see. So we're going to take this face thing again, make sure that's all on the same, and we're going to grab this one, turn off our snap, which is the S button, and this one, and this one. And F2 at this point is a really good tool because you can see what's working and not. And we're going to look at it and say X to make sure they're exactly lined up like that. Okay. We'll do the last thing is the last couple things is the bottom. We have to do the same thing. So this one's going to be Z. You want to make sure you didn't grab anything else. It didn't blow up, so it probably was okay. You grab this one and this one, and then we're going to say Z again. We've already done the back and the front. We know that they're snapped together. See how they're almost one line? Now, if I was going to really do this, I might connect these pieces together, and we can talk about that. And there's some things I want to do wrong on purpose, so when we get them into Unity, I can show you one of the important things. So the next thing you can do, two things. You have two options here. You could say, I'm going to go fix the other side, which is probably the fastest because we have our center point over here, which I think we need to reset. I would guess. It's a little bit off. Yeah. So since we're going to reset it anyway, what I would probably do is go to the front view, change my pivot point, go to pivot point, affect pivot point, center to object, align to the world, then get out of here. I would go to, just because I do this by habit, X-form, reset X-form, and reset the selected, and then I go to the modify panel or right click and say, come on, right click because the X-form modifier is on there, and say convert to editable poly, so it gets rid of it. The reason I do that now is because if I hadn't grabbed everything, and if there's just, I don't have to go to the other side, if I did this fast without talking, it would be really fast. I can just say symmetry, and I need to turn this way down. There we go. And it should not be the jerk it's being. Very interesting, you crazy piece of crap. Thanks, Max. Okay. So, let's not do it that way. We'll get rid of it. We've already got it reset. We just have to come to this other side and do this. And I mean, we could probably dig up why it's doing that, but I'm just going to stop fighting with it and let it win this fight. You win this time. And just grab these right here. Oops. Those edges, and then do X so they're snapped together. I think I forgot to do the bottom one the last time too, so we've got that. And I'm going to say Z so they're snapped together there, you can tell. And that was pretty easy anyway. I don't know why I went the other way. I was thinking about it probably too much. Z. Okay. So there we go. Now we have our wall. It's perfectly aligned. Everything is cut up. There's no n-gons or anything fighting with anything. If you want, you could cut up the wall too. But for now, that's all we need to do. And we'll come back in the next one and do your final setup for making corners and such.